Hi there, my name is Wells Westmoreland. Hope you're doing well and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to give a live medical marijuana SEO demo. So we're going to be looking at Moncanna Cannabis Dispensary in Missoula, Montana. And so we're going to be reviewing their organic presence. So if you are a dispensary, especially a medical dispensary that is looking to rank higher in Google's local pack and in Google Maps, as well as in the regular organic results, and ultimately get more customers, foot traffic, and revenue from organic search from Google search, then hopefully this video will be helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to look over their online presence live here. This will not be a complete medical cannabis SEO strategy, just because building a proper strategy takes a couple hours. But what we'll do is we'll hit the highlights, and I'll kind of show you a few things that Moncanna can do better to get to rank higher and make more money from organic search, that hopefully you can apply to your dispensary too. So let's get right into it. We'll just kind of go through each part, and then I'll make notes here in this document about things they can clean up or improve upon. So the first thing that matters with SEO is figuring out your target keyword. Actually, to figure that out, you need to figure out who you're targeting, who's your customer, and then work backwards to figure out what are they looking for online, and that way you can show up for that term. You can do your analysis based on that term, and that way, whenever you do win those rankings, you'll actually make money from that ranking instead of kind of ranking for relevant stuff. Now, when it comes to medical cannabis, right? Oftentimes, the best keyword to look at is medical dispensary near me or medical cannabis near me. It is a local business, obviously, so people are trying to figure out what is nearby, and then obviously the main term, medical cannabis. So medical cannabis near me / medical dispensary near me. And obviously other keywords matter too, but what you want to do is you want to benchmark your dispensary's performance for that term in your area. With that being said, I'm not in Montana, so I just looked up Missoula Medical Dispensary, so just city and then category, right? And then we can look at the stores here. So the one we're looking at is going to be Moncanna. As you can see, the number 5 here in this list. And this local pack right here this is the thing that says places or businesses. This thing right here is the most valuable real estate for a dispensary. Reason why is that it shows up basically, it's the first thing you're going to see on any local search. So if someone pulls up their phone and they look up, medical dispensary near me, the first thing they're seeing is this local pack. So you want to be in the top 3, right? Otherwise, they have to hit more places and kind of expand that feature. And they're probably just going to choose the first one they see. They're going to choose one of these 3 right here because they're easy options, right? Ranking in here is more valuable than down below, obviously because number 1 shows up first, but also because these listings, right? They have images, they have reviews, they have address, phone number, all those. They have a description. They have all these things that make it a very helpful sort of guide to the business and to the local businesses in the area, as compared to having to click into an actual website link down here and find something down here. So point is, this is the prime real estate for medical cannabis, medical marijuana SEO. Now, when it comes to ranking, there are a few main things I look at, and I'll kind of outline each thing right here. So functionality, and then I'll explain each thing as I go here. Profile, content, and then also authority. So functionality has to do with how, basically, does your website work well? Does it load pretty fast? Is it easy to use on mobile devices? This is very important just because most people do search for stuff near them on their phone. And then also fast websites that are easy to use do much better in search and get crawled more. And those things both matter. So what I like to do here is I load up Google PageSpeed Insights. It's just pagespeed.web.dev. And we can get a benchmark on the website's performance. So we'll go ahead and grab Moncanna's website and just throw it in here real fast and just see what they got. And it takes a moment to actually do the analysis here. And what this is going to do is it's going to show us a number of metrics having to do with the performance of the site. So how fast it loads, if there are any slow loading elements to clean up. And here we go. So 61, this actually is not bad. As you can see, the largest contentful paint, basically how long it takes for the largest element to load, is kind of high. But it's pretty typical of cannabis sites which have an age gate on them. So I wouldn't worry about that. But the actual speed index and first contentful paint are pretty fast. So 3 seconds or less is pretty good for speed index, honestly. And so, yeah, this site is good from a functionality standpoint, I'd say. Also, look at it. You want to look at it on mobile as well. So we can just open up in a new tab, and then we can compress it down to a mobile size here. And then, yeah, right here, right, it's obviously, it looks good on mobile. So, yeah, these are not like typically big, this is not like a big part of your SEO strategy, but still you do want to check and make sure your site loads fast, just because a slow site can kill an SEO campaign, even if you do everything else right. So it's just a good check in the beginning. But in this case, I think, functionality is all good. Site loads fast and looks good on mobile. All right, next thing I do is I look at the Google Business Profile. So with these profiles, two main things matter. And we'll actually look at it in here, that we can see competitors too. They're even lower down here, right? Interesting. Anyway, two main things matter, or actually I'd say three things matter the most, in my opinion, for dispensaries. And those things are: number one, reviews; number two, images; and number three, the business description, which you can't always see on desktop, but you can kind of see it on mobile, or it kind of depends on the search, whether Google will show it or not. That being said, with reviews, reviews are probably the biggest ranking factor in the local pack. And so if you can do better than your competitors on getting reviews, you're going to oftentimes rank number one in your market. And obviously that's very huge. As we discussed, the local pack is the key real estate. With reviews, three things matter here. First thing is the number of reviews, so just like your quantity of reviews. So the total amount. Second thing is velocity. So how fast you're getting reviews. Are you getting reviews more often than your competitors are? And then last thing that matters is review quality. So do your reviews have keywords in them? Do they have images? Are you getting a lot of, is your average star rating pretty high? So in the case of Moncanna, right, top three in the market, we have 366 reviews, 538, 179. So obviously we have a business right here ranking number three with under 200 reviews. So Moncanna is not too far off, and we could probably move up even to number three here if we were to get a higher review velocity than Bloom Weed Dispensary. So let's look at Bloom's velocity. What you can do here is just hit newest, and we can see all their newest reviews. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll say, a liberal estimate would be 8 reviews in the past month. These do all say a month ago, so maybe it's more like 4, but still 8 in the past month, right? Let's look at Moncanna's amount. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So maybe 9. So actually, they're pretty close. They're pretty close to this number 3 result, Bloom Weed Dispensary. So if Moncanna could jump up to like 12 or 15 reviews a month, they could actually surpass Bloom Weed in review velocity. Let's look at Greenhouse Pharmacy. They have many more reviews. You can see they have 538. But let's just look at their reviews and see how fast they're getting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 6. Okay, Montana Kush. Reviews. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12, okay? So as we can see, Montana Kush, which also has the highest velocity out of these three, is ranking number 1. May not be a coincidence, right? They have a pretty high star rating, not as high as Greenhouse Pharmacy. They have 4.8, but they have a pretty high review velocity. Point is, Moncanna, 4.7. So if they were to focus on getting like 12 to 15 5-star reviews per month, they could probably leapfrog all the way to number three fairly quickly within a couple months. And then over time, as they stack, as they have more months getting 12 to 15 reviews with an average of like 4.9 stars or so, they could even jump over these top two and get the number one spot. So that's the biggest thing in local SEO is how do we close the review velocity gap? And then also, if we have an average star rating like 4.7, which is lower, how can we get that up to where it's comparable or better than these top three? So if I were Moncanna, I would focus on asking every customer in person who's satisfied for a review. No exceptions, right? They serve more than 12 to 15 customers a month, right? If they were to ask every single customer for a review, they could easily get 12 to 15 reviews per month. So I would say increase review velocity, get to 12 to 15 per month with a 4.9 average rating. Obviously, right, it's impossible to have all 5-star reviews. It's difficult to do. Not impossible, but very difficult to do. But still try to get the rating up a little bit and also get a higher velocity. Okay, next thing with the GBP, the Google Business Profile is GBP. That's an acronym. I'm going to keep on saying it, so that's why I want to explain that. But the next thing that matters is adding fresh images, right? And why is that? Number one, people are going to be looking at your images. They want to see what your store looks like. They want to see the products you carry. They want to make sure you're an actual business, okay? But also adding fresh images shows Google, and also having other people like your customers add photos as well. It shows Google that you're active and you're still serving people in your area, right? So you want to be seen as the most active business in the area by Google. That can greatly help with your local pack rankings. So let's look at their images and see when the last ones were added. 6 years ago, right? 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years. As you can see here, they have just, what is this? 8 images, just 8 images. And they're also all at least a year old. And most of them are actually like 5 years plus old, right? That is not good at all. Google's going to be asking, well, hey, are they still in business? They haven't added a photo in 5 years. So let's look at the top three by contrast. 2 months ago, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. And they also have outside of the store, they have inside of the store, different angles, right? They have some that are older, but still, they added a nice batch of them 2 months ago. Greenhouse Pharmacy. Look at this. 8 years ago, okay, pretty old. 8, 5, 5. 3 months ago, so they had some customers adding photos. Looks like. So they're also pretty stale over here. I imagine they're probably doing good because they have one of the higher review counts in the area, probably the second, maybe second high, third highest in the area. Probably also probably also good location in Missoula. Bloom Weed Dispensary. Let's look at them. Okay. 9 months ago, 2 years, 1 year. Point is, right, you can see that all three of these businesses actually have more recent photos than our folks at Moncanna do, right? A good batch about a year ago. So this would be an easy one for Moncanna. It would be add like a few dozen photos, get outside of your store, inside of your store, maybe staff members, maybe some customers interacting with the staff members, product shelves, right? Just try to get new photos in there. It shows Google and people that you're still active and greatly helps with your Google local pack rankings. So I'd say add 12 to 36 fresh photos, and then make a plan to add all at once, and then make it a regular activity. Add like 5 to 10 photos per month, right? Just keep on adding them, right? It's not a big time investment. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just a matter of knowing you got to do it and going in there and making it happen. Okay, last thing that matters, which I won't really go over too much here because you can't really see them, is your business description. All you want to do here is make sure your description includes products you sell. So if you sell, say, flour, vapes, pre-rolls, mention those things in the description. Okay, also mention why you're different / better. Keywords. So in this case, medical cannabis / medical dispensary plus location, right? Your keyword in local SEO is going to be a two-part keyword. It's going to be your main category. So what do you do? Are you a dispensary or your medical dispensary, right? And then also your location. So your city. So make sure the description has, Moncanna Cannabis Dispensary is a medical dispensary located in eastern Missoula, Montana. We have, pre-rolls, vapes, flower on hand. Um, we're unique because our staff, includes former medical patients, whatever, right? Come up with a description that really sells you your business while also including those keywords and those product categories. Okay, those two pillars are done. It's kind of some recommendations I would implement if I were doing SEO for Moncanna, to try to get them in top 3 in the map pack. And I'll just say right here, in our overview, goal, get top 3 in the local pack for these terms in as many places as possible. Also, I forgot to show this in the beginning of the video, but what I did here was I ran a grid scan of Moncanna. So what this thing is, it's being a bit glitchy here, but what this thing is it shows how well they rank in the local pack based on the location, okay? So the grid is centered, or the circle grid is centered over their location. Obviously, as you can see, Missoula is actually over here, right? East Missoula, or Missoula right there, right? So they're actually not really in Missoula proper, but they're pretty close. As you can see as well, their rankings as you go into Missoula are not very good at all, even though they are in Missoula. They have a Missoula address. So therefore, that's why local SEO is worth it here, is to try to get better rankings in your city, right? So, they rank pretty well right around their area. Down here in the southern part of the grid, kind of number 5, number 6 over here. But as you can see, as we go into Missoula, not ranking very well, right? So that's why we're focused on, and this is for the keyword medical dispensary near me, which I'd say is probably the number 1 keyword to optimize for. Okay, last thing I want to cover, and this kind of goes under the authority bucket as well, but I'll cover it. Actually, we'll cover it in a second. Okay, next thing is the content. So with a dispensary, there are kind of 3 main types of content that matter. The first one that really matters is having location pages, or if you have a single location dispensary like Moncanna does, to my knowledge, you'll optimize your homepage to give details about your store. So yeah, the purpose of a location page is going to be to basically give your shoppers a mini guide to your location. So Moncanna, they have a page for their Missoula store. I would honestly probably merge this page with their homepage, and here's why. Right now, their profile links to their homepage. You want to link to the page that best describes your store in detail. And so right now you're looking to your homepage. I think if you have a single location, that's the best option. You don't want to have a separate page like right here. So you want to have just one page linked to your profile, and on it, you want to have certain information. You want to have comprehensive information about your store. So things you want to have a map. So a map where you can click and get directions to the store from wherever you are. You want to have a name, address, and phone number. You want to have information about payment methods, products you carry, FAQs answered, parking information, all those things. So here on their homepage, they have their address, phone number. They have hours. They have their hours. They mentioned product categories briefly. So legal weed right there. Reviews is another thing you want to have. They have reviews. They have brands we carry. So they have some information on their homepage, which is the page again that's linked from their profile. On this page, which they built specifically for their store, they have address, number, hours. They do have a map, which is excellent, right? I might actually you might do a directions map instead. So make it so that you can actually get directions. You click on it, and then you get directions from it automatically. So it'll open up a new map. Anyway, though, they got a map. They have products. They don't really mention what these are. Oh, they have the menu right here. Okay. And here you go, right? So it's a good start. What I would do is I would move everything to the homepage. Having pages like this, for like a certain location. Oops, hold on. Let's go back. This kind of thing is really helpful if you have like 3 or 4 stores, because you can't possibly optimize your homepage properly to cover 3 or 4 different stores. Google will be confused about which page corresponds to which location. In that case, you do want to build a separate location page for every single store. And that way, Google can say, okay, this page describes this store, has all the information for that store. We can link from our profile for that store to that page, right? But for a single store, you want to have the homepage as the information source. So, yeah, moving to the homepage. On here, you want to have name, address, phone number, and it should be matching what's on the GBP. You want to have directions, map, embed. Okay. You want to have business description similar to the profile, right? You can write a description there as well. You want to have information about parking and payment methods, always useful. You want to have content that ties you to the geographical area. So you can do this in a variety of ways. I actually do it as part of the description. What you want to do here is you want to talk about how we are a dispensary in a certain city in Missoula, and then you want to discuss how the store relates to the area. So I'll give you an example from like a recreational dispensary, right, that we work with, right? We discuss, okay, we're a dispensary in this area of Chicago, and so if you're grabbing dinner at this restaurant in Chicago, or if you're, seeing this attraction or going to this museum, you can stop by our dispensary before and after. Our dispensary is located nearby this hotel, right? You're talking about how your dispensary caters to the experience of people in a certain city, how it relates to activities, to landmarks, to attractions, to pastimes in that city. And so a little bit of information like that, whether it be as part of the description or as part of like a frequently asked question, can really help Google to see that you are in that area and are a good fit for people who are in that area. And therefore it just helps them, recommend you basically. Still, geo-relevant content. Okay. Next thing is product information. So I'd recommend having a short description that kind of describes each product category. So you could have like a section, maybe at least links to your menu, maybe it has products right there on the page, maybe it's just like an image of a product, but say pre-rolls, and then say we have a variety of pre-rolls available at our medical dispensary in Missoula, including this brand, this brand, this brand. Give a little bit of information about what you have. That also helps because if someone's looking up a certain pre-roll type near them, maybe, I don't know, high THC pre-rolls near me for like a medical patient, right? Or indica pre-rolls near me. If Google knows that, or if you have the information on your location page, Google knows, okay, this store carries that product. So therefore, we'll also rank you higher in the local pack when someone looks up indica pre-rolls near me. And so again, this page is an opportunity to give Google comprehensive information about your store, what you carry there, and that way they can match you to more searches. They know everything about you. Now they can match you whenever anybody who would be a good customer is searching for you. And then also FAQs, and include geo-relevant FAQs, legality, maybe talk about legal limits, talk about requirements, but you're going to need a medical card, that kind of thing. So include that. So that's a few things there. Okay, that's one thing. All right, next thing that matters here. I won't go over everything here, but one thing that matters as well is your menu. So whether it's indexable or not, easy way to tell is to figure out, are you ranking for any product related keywords? And so what I do here is I throw the site into Ahrefs. It's an SEO tool. We can see here traffic is flat or growing. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to go into the top pages report. This is going to show us the URLs that are getting the most traffic. So as we can see here, okay, currently we don't have any product URLs from the menu getting traffic. So if we go into the menu here, let's see here. Let's go to it right here. So Right. So as we can see here, if we hover over the URL, this is an embedded menu from Leafly. Let's go back here. You can see here, right? I hover over it. It's linking to a Leafly URL down there. And I don't know if you can see it down there, right? And so the issue with this kind of setup is that Google does not actually think these pages are on your site. They don't interpret, say, this, hybrid full spectrum cannabis oil RSO product. They don't think that URL is part of your site. They don't recognize it as a unique page in your site. So therefore, your site cannot rank for that keyword with this page, right? Google cannot index that page. So therefore, you have no opportunity to rank for, hybrid RSO Missoula or hybrid RSO in general, right? Whereas I'll show you a healthy example from a dispensary in Chicago. We look at their site in Ahrefs, and if we were to go down to, we'll go to the same report, top pages, and as you can see here, they have a ton of menu pages ranking. This page right here ranks for, this product right here ranks for the keyword winter sunset strain, right? Actually, this is a 404, right? But in this case, right, a ton of products are ranking in Google. So yeah, you want to have your menu indexable. Why is that important? Two reasons. Number one, you can actually rank for product related terms in your area. So if somebody looks up, say, hybrid RSO near me and they're in Missoula, Google's going to prefer to rank a product page from a business that's in Missoula. They're going to rank your hybrid RSO product page over a dispensary in Maryland, right? That's the first reason, is that you can rank for more keywords in your area. Number two is that when you have all those products on your site, if Google, has indexed a page about pre-rolls, indexed a menu page about extract, like RSO, indexed a page about flower, when someone looks up flower near me, they're going to recommend your dispensary higher in the local map pack because they know that this business, who has a Google business profile, on their website, they have flower listed, right? They know that your website lists that product. And so you'll actually rank better than the map pack too. So if I were to look up, RSO Missoula, Montana, you can rank higher. If normally you'd see a map pack probably for a higher volume keyword, but you see it up here, you'll rank higher in the local pack if it is one like this kind of thing. And also you can rank down here. And so you can get a lot more customers this way from these longer tail search terms if Google knows that you have various products on your site. And that's the benefits of having an indexable menu. So I'd say move to an indexable menu. A good option here is Jane. iHeart Jane has an option called Jane Boost. iHeart Jane, Jane Boost. There's also like native options. A native menu basically where the entire menu is managed in your website. They take a lot more money and time to build out properly, but that's another option is the native menu. So yeah, that's the next thing I recommend. Last thing here is blog content. So this is not as high priority as these two. These are the critical ones because this talks about where you are and what you sell, right? Product pages are what you sell. Location pages is where you are. So I'd recommend prioritizing those things first because those are going to help you show up higher in the local pack and get more customers the fastest. That being said, blog content can help you build topical authority. So the idea is that Google prefers to rank businesses that are known authorities on their subject, in this case, medical cannabis. And so if you write high quality blog content about medical cannabis, Google will say, okay, Moncanna is an authority on medical cannabis, and therefore they deserve to rank higher for every medical cannabis related search. And so that's the benefit of developing blog content. And obviously, you do need to develop quite a bit of it, probably like at least a dozen or 24 high quality pages in order to start seeing the benefits of the topical authority, right? But the benefit is real, and I definitely recommend pursuing that once you have the foundational content in place. So yeah, medical cannabis information, and you can find keywords using Ahrefs, right? So a tool like this. Or just using, customer interactions and common sense. Think about questions you get. Maybe it's, best strain for anxiety. Maybe you have a lot of anxiety patients who shop at your medical dispensary. So you can write an article about best strain for anxiety. Look up this keyword. We see a lot of articles right here from different dispensaries. Stoops NYC, Green Remedy Denver, right? A lot of medical dispensaries, already had the same idea. And so, write about informational content about medical cannabis. It'll build your authority and help you rank higher across the board. Let's go back to our document here. All right. So those are those layers down. The last layer I want you to consider is authority. So with authority, there are two main things that matter in local SEO. The first one is citations. Now, a citation is basically a profile that you can set up on a third-party platform that includes information about your business. So it's going to include your name, address, and phone number. And the idea here is that every profile you have on a third-party platform gives Google information about your business. Okay? It's an additional point of confirmation that you are who you say you are, that you're located at the address that you claim on your Google Business profile, that if these profiles have reviews on them, it gives Google more proof that you are reputable. People may also see this, but mainly it's for Google, okay? And so the more citation profiles you have, right, on different websites, the more authoritative, prominent, and trustworthy Google views you as, and therefore the higher they're going to rank you in the map pack, right? In this key real estate, which it can drive you so much revenue, right? So some examples of platforms that you want to be on are like Facebook, Yelp, Weed Maps. I'm not saying you should pay Weed Maps. I'm just saying you should have a profile on it. Leafly, basically all the major. Another one is like Bing, or I say Apple Maps. Different large map and directories type of sites, and then also all the cannabis relevant ones like Weed Maps, Leafly, and there are dozens of others that you can look into, right? But you want to have a platform. You want to have two things. Number one, you want to have a profile on these platforms. Number two, you want your profile to match your name, address, and phone number from your Google Business profile. So that's called NAP, name, address, phone number. NAP consistency. NAP consistency is important. And then also optimize it. So optimize it by adding information about your business, why you're better, why you're different, products you sell. Again, you're just giving Google more information about you and more points of confirmation that you are who you say you are. One thing you can do, so things that matter here for citations in terms of what to look at, is you want to fix existing listings and then get more. So for existing listings, you can actually use a tool like Local Dominator, which is what I use for grid scans like this, right? They actually offer a snapshot of your listings over here, and we can look at some of the recommendations they have. If I hit fix, let's see what they got for us. So NAP and also W is for website. And so the idea here is that you want to get a check mark in all these, meaning that the NAP and website from your Google Business profile, which is actually up here, should match on all these platforms. So on Yelp, they say that we have the correct address, phone number, and website, but the name on Yelp is mismatched. Let's take a look at that. Hold on. So here you go, right? Let's go back to Yelp. This a little bit slow. So right here on Yelp, your Moncanna's name is just Moncanna, right? It's their name, but look on their profile, Google Business profile, it's Moncanna LLC Cannabis Store Dispensary, right? And so what you want to do is you want to have this name right here, the LLC name. You want to have that entire name right there on every single platform. So Yelp is a big one, but also they have a few others listed here that are important. Facebook, we don't see a Facebook page. NavMe, Waze is all good, right? Easy Local. Some of these are not really relevant. They're more for like home services, like My Local Services, City Squares, Show Me Local, right? A lot of big platforms that you want to have. You want to have a matching name, address, phone number, and website on. As you can see, they have quite a few where they're either not present or they need to clean up their listing. So that's something I do right there is clean up your existing listings on major platforms. On major platforms, Other thing I would do is I would build more. So what you want to do there is you want to look at your competitors and see what they have. So for this keyword, right, the main keyword, we could look at Montana Kush, number one, right? And you want to look up their address on Google, and that way we can uncover where they have a listing on a third-party platform. So let's see, let's grab their address here, copy that, go into Google, and then drop that in there. Hold on, right there. And we're going to look at where they're listed. Now, obviously, some of these are kind of BS because it's like real. These are actually like listings for the property, right? And so you can ignore some of those. You can also look up their name, and then so another way you can do it is like look up Montana Kush, and then exclude their website. So what's their website? It's montanakush.com. We can look up this, their name, and then exclude their website minus site montanakush.com. And here we go. Here's some actual listings here. So let's go through it, right? They're on Weed Maps. They're on the Whitefish Chamber of Commerce. They have a Dutchy profile, Yelp profile, which is also a bit different actually, but Leafly profile, LinkedIn. This is one of their people. Waze, Indeed. That's not really relevant, but so they have some pretty good ones. Oh, Green Trips right there. That's a pretty big dispensary listings platform. And so what you want to do here is you want to look up all your, the top three people or the top three businesses in your market. Look them up like this to figure out everywhere they're listed. And then anywhere where you see a platform occurring in the first 2 pages of results, so 1 and 2, where you don't have a listing, you want to build that listing. Okay. So I'd say here, conduct a citation gap analysis and then get listed on every directory where in the top 2 pages where your competitors are listed, right? So hopefully that made sense. But yeah, you want to fix your existing listings and then also build more. Okay, one more thing for authority is backlink building. Backlink building is important because backlinks help build website authority, and website authority and prominence helps to support local pack rankings. So let's see. All right. So what you can do here is you can look at your link profile compared to your competitors. I'm actually going to hold on a bit laggy here. Okay. Well, what we'll actually do is to make it a bit faster. We'll go to We'll go to Keyword Explorer. And we'll type in the main term, and then we can compare all the authority of the competitors in this market kind of head to head. Okay, so I finally have data here for this keyword right here, medical marijuana dispensary Missoula. Very, very specific. So what we want to do here is we want to compare Moncanna's level of domain authority and backlinks to their competitors here. Now, we don't actually have Moncanna's data here, so we'll look at Moncanna right here in a different window. Then we get a good comparison. And with backlink building, what you want to do is you want to build more backlinks, more high quality backlinks than your competitors. So let's look at Moncanna here and we'll go to, where is it? Backlinks. And we'll do a few filters here to see how many good backlinks they actually have. So we'll do follow. We'll select in content. Okay. And we'll also select, let's see here. We want language to be English. And we'll take page type should be, no, that's not the right one. Anyway, show results, right? So now after we have pared it down at a good degree, we can see that Moncanna really only has 15 good backlinks, right? Now, let's take a look at number 1, right? Number 1 in the SERP, which is Greenhouse Pharmacy. and we'll pare down their backlink profile and see how many good backlinks they have. All right, so do follow. Okay, we'll select in-content links. We'll select English links, so language and English, and then go ahead and hit show results. And they have 75 backlinks. So obviously, Moncanna has a ways to go in order to actually catch up to this number one ranker. You can also look at the top three. So apparently, number two here, Montana Stoner Games, may not be dispensary. Oh, hold on, that's not right. I was looking at the wrong report here. That being said, right, this is number one. This is Moncanna. So Moncanna needs to build more. They need 50 more backlinks. That, you don't really need to get to number one's position. You just need to kind of close the gap to a degree, and that way your website will generally be among one of the stronger ones in the market. So maybe if number one has 75 links and you only have 15, we can set a goal to get to like 45. So there'll be 30 more links. So maybe if we were to build 4 links a month, right, we could get there in, 7.5 months, right? So backlink building, you want to do a gap analysis and then make a plan to close the gap. You don't need to get all the way past the number one in the market. Eventually you do obviously want to get there. Even just closing the gap, 30% or 40% or 50% you'll see a very significant performance increase on your website, which will also spill over into how well you rank in the local map pack. So backlinks, do a gap analysis, and then build links to close gap at least 30 to 50% of the way. Right. And also you can look at number, what I actually do is I look at the top 5, average that, and then try to get more than that, or more than the average of the top 5. Right. But that's kind of, I just did sort of a rudimentary analysis here for this video. Okay. So that is everything that I have for Moncanna Dispensary. If they were to implement all the recommendations across the 4 buckets that matter, so from functionality, Google Business Profile, content, and authority, they would see a significant increase in local pack rankings, foot traffic, and ultimately revenue and money in the bank as a result of organic search. All right, that's all I have. I hope this video helped you and you got something useful from it. If you have a medical dispensary or dispensary and you want to get more foot traffic and customers and revenue, then we can set up a call together soon. And on that call, I can walk you through how I can help your dispensary make more money. So if that's you, book a call down below in the description at the link. And I hope to talk to you soon. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope this helped. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.